Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about smart measures or dynamic measures. All right, let's consider this scenario. Like I have this report page here where I'm comparing year-to-date revenue versus prior year-to-date revenue by product segment and by state in the visual below. And on the top visual, I'm comparing it by product. Now, if I want to use the same exact visuals or similar visual, and I want to compare month to date versus prior month to date, or quarter to date versus prior year quarter to date. I want to do this in a seamless way, right? So what are my options? The first option would be to create multiple pages, like 3 different pages, one for year to date, one for month to date, and one for quarter to date, and the user can navigate to each of those pages. Or I could potentially use bookmarks to get a similar capability, but with maybe using a single page. But using either of these approaches may involve maintenance issues and so forth. So I'm going to try to create a smart measure, and based on the user selection, which will give the user basically an option to switch between year to date or month to date or quarter to date. And based on their selection, the visual will automatically update and to show the data based on their selection. All right. Let's see how we would go about doing this. Now, I've already gone ahead and built the DAX measures for month to date, quarter to date, and year to date. So once we have that, the next thing I want to do is create a selection or a way for the user to tell us if they want to view year to date or month to date, or basically make a selection. To do that, I want to go to enter data and create those values for them. So I'm going to create a table, and I'm going to make some selections here. So let's say I want to put in year to date, month to date, quarter to date. Now I can also put a sort order for this, just so I know how I want this displayed. So I want month to date to show up first, quarter to date next, and year to date. Otherwise, it's going to show up in alphabetical order. In this case, it might work, but that's an option. So I would call this maybe period selection. Let's load this. Okay. There you go. And this one is a standalone table. I'm not going in my relations here. I'm not going to create any relation for it. It's a standalone table. Okay. So now let's go back to the visual report layer. And create a new measure. So I'm going to say new measure, and I'm going to call this, let's say, the first I'm going to call this, I'm going to build one for year to date, right? So I'm just going to call this as period to date. And this will be basically based on the user selection. So let's start with a variable here. Oops. There you go. Variable selected period equals selected value, and I'm going to say period selection period. So basically I want to know what value they selected, and then I want to return based on the calculation that they make. I want to return some values. Okay, so switching based on selected period. If the selection is month to date, then I want to return month to date revenue. If it is quarter to date, I want to return quarter to date revenue. And the last one is if it's year to date, then I want to return year to date revenue. Okay, so that's done. And then I'm going to format this, make it currency. Okay, that's step one. And the next thing is I want to do prior year to date. And this is similar to the earlier calculation. So again, I'm getting the selected period, and based on the selected period, this time I'm getting the prior period values, right? So now I have the two measures that I need. Now let me go down and create a slicer here, right, based on the period selection. So first thing, let's go to period selection here, and make sure the sort order is applied. So I'm going to select period, sort by the sort order. So we're good there. Now I can go back here, select the period, make it a slicer. Okay. Now let's say I select year to date. Let me go here. Now I need to change the values that are here. I'm going to uncheck these and add the newly created smart measures. Okay, there you go. And now if I switch to quarter to date, it shows me quarter to date and month to date. So, and I can do the similar thing on my bottom visual as well. Remove the year to date values, pull in the smart measures. Okay, so again, this bottom one changes as well. So by creating individual measures and then creating a smart measure on top of that, which will take the user selection, and based on that updates the visual. So this is my approach to solving the problem of switching between different periods. And you can use the similar approach for any other use cases where you give the user the option to make a selection and change the visuals based on that by creating these smart measures. All right, so that's it for today. Hope this was useful. If you've got any comments, leave them below. If not, thanks for watching and have a nice day.